Okay, thanks Ian. Yes, we've got the grid for the Britcar Trophy Championship race number 2, race 11 on our programme. Just making sure that we've got the up-to-date grid there. It's based on the results of race number 1. A few cars got penalties in that race, as we saw. So let's have a look at the grid then. Data Motorsport have 3 cars on as many rows at the front of the field. They've got pole position. Axel van Nederveen, the race 1 winner, starts from pole, with Will Stacey in the Rob Boston Racing Lotus alongside. A pair of Ginettas next on the grid. 47 car for Data Motorsport is Maurizio Silio, and for Assetto Motorsport, car number 2, that will be started this time by Julian Wantling, because if you went second in the car in race 1, you go first in race 2. Row 3, number 4, Marco Anastasi drives solo alongside the number 42 car. That will be started this time by Mike West. Jade Edwards will take over. Row 4, number 24 for SVG Motorsport. Neil Wallace will take the start. Ian Astley will take over that car. Alongside them, number 23, the Form Evo Clark Racing Porsche of Simon Clark. Row 5, the number 7 TSR Golf. Mark Jones starts. Anthony Rogers will take over. Alongside then number 66, the first of the Clios, Reese Lloyd will be starting that one. Row 6, number 118, that's the Nissan 370Z. David May going first, Mark Skeets takes over. Row 6, alongside them number 92, the Dragon Sport Clio, Travis Coyne and Jake Hewlett. Row 7, number 88, the Hyro Motorsports Clio, that's Andy Tucker from Team Brit, will be starting that car, sharing with Ollie Meadows. Team Brit BMW will start alongside them. Number 70, started this time by Tyron Matherin. Paul Fullick takes over. The JW Bird, number 64, that's Paul Goodlad in the VW Scirocco, is next, alongside the number 22 Sim Dynamics car, Chris Bielan going first, and Simon Mason takes over. Row 9, we've got the other Hyro Motorsports Renault Clio, number 89. That is started by James Harris. Row 10, we've got the 45 car, which is Major Motorsports. That's one of the Honda Civics, that's Arthur McMahon. Number 14, the Spires Motorsport Clio of Craig Guest. Row 11, 52, Westbourne Motorsports. Mike Bowman going first, Sarah Franklin takes over. Number 40 is the Intersport Racing BMW. Now, we saw they ran into a spot of bother earlier on with that 5-minute penalty. That's how much they missed the pit window by. Jasper Sapra starts this time, so hopefully he'll remember to come into the pits on time. Row 12, we've got the first of the Raceway Ginettas. Number 13 car crewed by Brendan Hafner. Number 41 Clio will be started by Darren Gerhardt, the Spires Motorsport car alongside. Row 13 is number 19, the Thorny Motorsport BMW of Callan Noble, another car to suffer a big penalty in race 1 for missing the pit window, as is the car alongside it. Number 83 Steve Cook will start that one this time. Row 14, the second TSR Golf, number 77, started by Finn Jones. Rob Alec takes over. Alongside number 62, the SVG Motorsport car of Alex Turnbull. The 57 Alfa Romeo a long way back. That's had problems at the end of race 1. Paul Plant starts. Barry McMahon takes over. The MacG Racing Tyrannus, I'm told, will not be starting. He picked up some damage in race 1. Have we had anybody else withdraw from the race? I'll just double check the sheets. No, that's the only withdrawal. So the 33 car, unfortunately, will not be starting. Too much damage from that bit of a shunt in race 1. The Mazda. The 37 BPC Motorsport Fiesta should be there, though. Jack Watts will be taking the start this time, all being well. So we should see a 30 car grid for this, the second race of the day for the Britcar Trophy. There'll just be a moment's pause for the cars to come out on the grid. 1 or 2 cars being recovered from around the circuit by our excellent marshalling team. Well, if you can, in the background, ladies and gents, hear what sounds like a building site in the background on some of our cameras, then that's exactly what it is. There's a lot of construction work of new buildings going on at Silverstone at the moment. This facility being improved all the time, the home of British Motorsport, so there's quite a bit of building work going on, and you may be able to hear that taking place in the background. We're not racing tractors, don't worry. We've seen tractor pulling, of course, albeit not at Silverstone, primarily an American sport. Yeah, one of our cameramen has just sent us a picture of some heavy plant working just alongside his camera position on one of the grandstands. I'm sure it'll all look great when it's finished, but there seems to be constantly work going on here at Silverstone. New hotels being put up and all manner of different buildings. Maybe I'll ask James Ibbotson for more information. He studies at the college at Silverstone. The pace car is in position, ready for our second Britcar trophy race of the day. Hopefully we'll see all 30 cars out there. As we said, the Mazda RX-8 sadly withdrawn with some damage. I'll get ready for the second round at Brands Hatch. We are back in action on BARC TV next Saturday, a one-day event, and something new for 2023 as the Caterham Championships join BARC for this year. So I'll have the factory-supported Caterham series, the Road Sports, the 270Rs, the 310Rs, and the Caterham 7 UK Championship. If you've not seen those before, particularly the UK Championship, they are absolute rockets, and they're at Alton Park in Cheshire next Saturday. And I'll be on coverage for that one for you. That's next Saturday on BARC TV. Do not miss that. Here come the cars up to the grid then, a quartet of Clios making their way down the Hanger Street straight, and there's the BMW had to finish its race in the pit lane earlier on with that 5-minute penalty for missing the pit window. Maurizio Celio, first lap spin stymied him in the first race. What might have been if that not had happened? That had not happened. Get your words out, Dave. There's the Lotus. Now that could start as the favourite this time. Will Stacey had a couple of wins at Donington last year. Again, a 50-minute race with mandatory pit stops. A 10-minute pit window mid-race. A bit of an update on one of our earlier races. There's been a change to the results in the Jaguar Challenge second race, the Berkshire Jag Components Jaguar Challenge, because The on-the-road Jaguar winner, Jack Robinson, has been given a penalty for overtaking under a yellow flag. And that has given the win provisionally to Mike Seaborn. So Mike Seaborn inherits the win there. Jack Robinson penalised for overtaking under yellows. Well, our intrepid pit reporter Ian Waterhouse, I can tell you, is braving the blustery conditions down on the grid. He's going to talk to one or two of the drivers for us.
Yeah, hello everybody, welcome down to the grid here. As you can see, the cars now coming up for the second race for Britcar Trophy. 50-minute race a little bit earlier, another 15-minute coming up, a mandatory pit stop as well. I did see a few people asking questions about driver changes. You can drive solo. This is one man who is, sorry, I'm really rude now, I'm just going to shut it, I'm going to open it up again. Callum, I haven't seen you for a while. How's your winter, mate?
Not too bad, not too bad. Glad to be back, a bit rusty, but glad to be back.
Yeah, definitely glad to be back. Of course, look, race one done. You're a sole driver as well. What was it like out there?
Difficult. We had a little bit of unfortunate contact with the guy in the Mazda, which kind of hampered us a bit. The conditions were difficult.
Yeah.
But starting at the back is going to be a little bit entertaining, I think.
Well, it's going to be entertaining for us in that case then.
Maybe not for me so much.
Where can you go? Where can you get up to from there?
Hard to say. Top 7 would be nice. Top 7, top 5 would be over the moon with, but we'll see how it goes.
Fantastic. Callum, thanks for talking to us. Best of luck. Now, you may remember the story, really, of race 1 was over here, number 40, Jas Sapra and Brian Branson. I'll just make sure we're not going to get run over. Leading the race, they looked good for it. Looked like they were going to take the race home until it looked like a bit of an error, actually. Brian Branson not called into the pits on time, missed the pit stop window, got a 300-second time penalty, dropped him down the order. They start down here at row 11 in 22nd. I am going to have a quick chat with Jas. He did say he'd be happy to talk. Jas, I did say I'd come talk to you. I managed to come find you, mainly because it's nice and warm in there. Look, we know what happened in race 1. I had a quick chat with you after. You said you can still win this one, right?
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot.
Yeah. You're going to go for it,
they've
right?
got a bit of pit time penalties, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
So it might help us in the advantage.
Fantastic, Jas. Best of luck, mate. We'll catch up with Brian a little bit later as well, just make sure we're not going to get run over. The last few cars coming up to the grid as well. We don't have long either. The Hooter's about to go to get us off the grid. Let's just see if we can quickly jump in here. Car number 41, we've got the Rundle. Thank you, Giretz. Here, how are we doing? All right, feeling ready for this one?
Yeah, first start of the season for a start for me, so a little bit nervous, but I've done it before, so...
I was going to say, you've done it once or twice before. I've seen you out and about around the circuit.
You're actually getting the mojo back.
Is it a bit nicer now, track conditions different to how they were earlier? It's bone dry now.
I mean, it was a little bit patchy earlier, but we had a good race. The pace was good apparently in the last race. A couple of spins ruined it, but it's only because of trying to push hard. But we had terrible qualifying because I couldn't see where I was going, everything fogged up. So I put this window down so I could see where the apexes were.
You won't have that problem now. Best of luck for the race. Thanks for talking to us. Let's keep going. Am I right to leave that open? Thank you very much. And let's just make our way down a little bit further, shall we? It sounds like we've got a little bit of time. In fact, let's just go into the middle actually, and you can see how it looks right at the back here and what work the drivers have to do. Let's just pop the cameras going forward there. That's how it looks here on the Silverstone GP circuit. We've got car 62 here. I wonder if we can just, wonder if it's all right just to open the door and have a quick chat. How are we doing? All right?
Oh.
I'm just jumping in. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't.
Right, so we are quite a way back here. What can you do?
Try to get past people on the first turn, maybe?
Yeah, it's always quite crucial, isn't it? It's a long old race to go as well. I spoke to Jade Edwards earlier and she was saying, look, it's an endurance race. You're not going to win it at the first corner. You can certainly lose it though, huh?
Yeah, there's still quite a bit wet patches about. But yeah,
Good luck for the race. Thanks for talking to us as well. Let me just shut that there. Right, we're right at the back. We've only got about one more car due to come and line up. I'm going to hand back to Dave because we're going to have to get ourselves off. Best of luck, enjoy, and I'll hand you back to Dave.
Thanks, Ian. The last couple of cars coming into line then down there. Watch out for fireworks from towards the back. The two BMWs down there. The Team Brit BMW got an additional penalty, I can tell you, at the end of the first race as well. So that's further back on the grid. So BMWs from the back could be the theme for this race, as Arthur McMahon just moving his Honda Civic into line there. But the car to watch, I would say, is that Lotus of Will Stacey, the Rob Boston racing machine. We all know what Rob Boston Racing can do. They won the British Endurance Championship with the Mercedes GT3 of Tom Jackson and Wayne Mars last year. Can they win the trophy category this year? Starting alongside Axel van Nederveen, the Dutchman. Now, here's the car we were waiting for. This is number 13, Brendan Hafner, the Raceway Motorsport Ginetta. He won his class in the first race, a little bit late out of the pits in the Ginetta G40 Cup. He's only got one rival today, Alex Turnbull, who we just spoke to. There's Will Puttergill in the CH Racing Honda Civic, the Canter Holland sponsored car, run in conjunction with Motion Sport. I've just been sent some data through from the paddock. Yeah. Cars with pit stop penalties for this second race. If you win your class in race 1, you get 15 seconds extra to serve at your pit stop in race 2, 10 seconds for second in class and 5 seconds for third in class. So Axel van Nederveen will serve an extra 15 seconds, Will Stacey an extra 10 seconds, and Maurizio Cilio an extra 5 seconds. Thanks to the Britcar officials for just sending those through. It's Simon Clark in Class 2 who has the 15-second penalty. Mark Jones and Anthony Rogers 10 seconds extra. And David May and Mark Skeets, the Nissan, has an extra 5 seconds. The Ginettas, there's only 2 of them. Brendan Hafner in the Ginetta G40 class has an extra 15 seconds to serve. Alex Turnbull an extra 10 seconds. In the Clio class, it's Rhys Lloyd and Jack Meekin with the extra 15. The extra 10 seconds is Travis Coyne and Jack Hewlett. And the extra 5 seconds is Andy Tucker and Ollie Meadows. Everybody else has the standard pit stop time, 140 seconds minimum mandatory pit stop. So thanks a lot to the Britcar officials. Big thanks to Race Control and to Claire Headley of Britcar for sending us through all the info. And don't forget the penalty if you miss the pit window. 1 second for every second outside the window you are. The safety car moves off, ready for the rolling start. 50 minutes of racing coming your way with a 10-minute pit stop window in the centre. The pit window opens after 20 minutes of racing, closes 10 minutes later. Hopefully all the drivers have been reminded this time. Watch for the BMWs from the back. It's the Ginetta of Axel van Nederveen, the Dutchman on pole. Will Stacey in that little Lotus alongside him. What's the secret of Lotus? Lightweight. Weighs almost nothing compared to some of the cars on this grid. There's Maurizio Cilio, the yellow car. Number 2, this time started by Julian Wantling. There's the first of the Clios. The Nissan of David May. Gaz Sapra in his BMW. Team Matherin for Team Brit, ready to attack from the off as well. They're further down the grid than they wanted to be. Well, if it wasn't for the Lotus, it would have been a clean sweep for Ginettas. Callum Noble further back as well. He was sliding all over the place in the wet earlier. Told us he had a bit of contact with Johnny McGregor. You can see a little bit of damage to the front splitter on that BMW. haven't got the Ford Fiesta, unfortunately, so that's out of action after race 1. I think everybody else is there who should be. Possibly the 77 Golf was not there. Double check as they come through. No, the Golf of Finn Jones and Rob Alec not there. So we are missing a couple of cars. But a good field nonetheless. Second race of the day for the Britcar Trophy Championship. Start to form up 2 by 2. There's the Alfa Romeo 57. Started this time by Paul Plant. Oh, we've got one car in the pit lane, the number 7 Golf. That's Mark Jones. He's going to be starting from the pits. So watch for him coming through. The Class 2 Golf, that was a runner-up in Class 2 in the first race. Here we go. The grid forms up. 50 minutes of racing with a mandatory pit stop. Axel van Nederveen going for his double, but he's got that extra 15 seconds to serve in the pits. An extra 10 seconds for Will Stacey, an extra 5 for Maurizio Silio. Could that open the door to one of the Assetto Motorsport Ginettas? 4th and 6th on the grid. Watch for Sapra and Bransom coming through as well. They're in with a chance. We'll find out over the next 50 minutes. The safety car is into pit lane. They head up towards the start-finish line, waiting for the red lights to go out. Britcar Trophy, race 2 is go. And down towards the first corner. Good start by Will Stacey. Can he slot into the lead ahead of Axel van Nederveen? He'll try to get around the outside. The little Lotus, he's done it. And the Lotus shoots into the lead around the outside line. Van Nederveen in second. Looks like it's the number 2 of Julian Wantling up into third place. And again, Maurizio Silio nearly renewing his acquaintance with the 42 car. Great start by David May. Look at the Nissan up there in 6th place. He's locked up. He clips the side of Mike West in the 42 Ginetta. That was nearly another tangle into Beckett's for the first time, as we saw earlier. One of the Clios has gone straight on there. That was Reece Lloyd, the Clio class winner in race 1. He doesn't want to give himself additional penalties. He's got the pit stop penalty to serve. It's Will Stacey who leads in the Lotus from Van Nederveen. Third place is Julian Wantling. Then it's Silio, side by side between David May and the 42 of Mike West further back, as Stacey holds the inside line for Stowe and holds the lead. Hopefully they'll all get through Stowe corner okay. A fair bit of tyre squeal on the way into it. And look, Jasvir Sapra is already up, possibly in the top 10. There was a bit of contact there. Hard to see. I think that was Mike West. Yes, he's going across the chicane. Look out as he comes back on. Oh, he gets it spun around there. Is anybody going to collect him? He's right in the middle of the club chicane there. The Team Brit BMW avoids him. Now, I think something broke there because that Ginetta, yeah, there's a wheel off there. Look, just rolling away to the left. There was contact there between that Ginetta and the Nissan 370Z, I think. The Nissan's still going, but has dropped back. That's created a bit of a hole in the field as Van Nederveen attacks for the lead into Village. I don't think he's going to get through there because the next corner's the left at the loop. And Will Stacey holds the lead, but disaster for the number 42 of Mike West. Looks like he's lost a wheel there after contact with David May. And I think there's yellow flags there. Yeah, I think the safety car's coming out. Oh, the Nissan's gone around as well, so that's got damage as well, I assume. The safety car is coming out with Mike West, number 42, Ginetta, stranded at club corner. Well, up to now, there's the Ginetta. We got through all of our Britcar and British Endurance action without a single safety car. The whole of the 3-hour race yesterday, we didn't have any interruptions. But the number 42, we need to see the other side of it, really, because I think that car had shed a wheel. saw a wheel rolling away to the left behind the barriers there, so I think that's the car it's come off. Now, we mentioned Jasper Sapra just before that contact took place. He's gained 15 places on the opening lap. He's up to 7th. The order is Van Nederveen from Stacey, Julian Wantling in the blue Ginetta is 3rd, Chilio is 4th, then Simon Clark's Porsche. Marco Anastasi 6th in his Ginetta. Sapra, there he is, up to 7th already. 8th, it is Neil Wallace. Starting the car this time, we'll hand over to Ian Astley, who's the faster of the pairing. 9th behind them, it's the leading Clio, that's Reece Lloyd. We saw him go straight on at Beckett's on the first lap, and 10th is his teammate, which is Travis Coyne. So Dragon Sport head the Clios. Yeah, the Ginetta getting a tow from the trusty Silverstone Land Rover. Yeah, must have lost the wheel there, lifting the front. And the Nissan back in the garage as well, that's a shame. Presumably, yeah, you can see damage to the right front wheel there. Presumably steering damage as well. That's a shame, because David May had made a brilliant start. But a bit of rubbing there with the Ginetta. Yep, there's the wheel. I believe this belongs to you, says the marshal. Looks like it's actually broken the wheel rim there. Yes, loose wheels can be unpredictable things. As we saw at Snetterton a year or two ago in a Caterham Graduates race when somebody's front wheel rolled all the way down the back straight pretty much. I believe Ian Waterhouse has got David May with him down in the pits.
Yeah, welcome down everybody to the pits. As you can see, we're here with David May. David, had a little bit of spin out there. What's wrong with the car? Is it a flat? Is it a puncture?
I'm assuming it's a flat tyre. I was going around the end of Stowe, at the end of Hanger Straight, went a little bit wide. The next thing you know, all I saw was a Ginetta come flying in, hit me. We sort of collided. Nothing I could do. He went off. I got back on the track. I could see straight away. I was like, steering, and then the Ginetta went flying off in front. It took somebody else as well, so I don't know what it's about, but
not terminal though, we're going to get back out.
I'm hoping he not, so at least BARC gets have a go in it. Well, I'll have to get out. I'm just hoping to get out before the safety car comes round, but I don't know. If not, you know, we got right up to what, 4th, 5th or something. I don't know. We were right up there, and just somebody hit a damp patch, and that was it, and it was game over.
Right, well, I better leave you to it. Who knows, you might still be able to get out there. Right, Dave, back to you.
That team of David May and Mark Skeets really do have all the luck, all the bad luck. Hopefully they can get that Nissan back out. We mentioned BMW's rising up the order. Well, Callum Noble gained 13 places on that opening lap, and the Alfa Romeo as well of Paul Plant gained some 14 places from towards the back of the lineup. Safety car looks like it's still out for another lap. Evelyn Buanik heads them round. Van Nederveen leads. This is allowing the car that started from the pit lane to catch up, the Golf. Safety car in this lap, we're told by race control. But it is a long lap here on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. We won't get into the pit window for this safety car period. There's the last few runners. It is the Golf at the back, so Mark Jones has been able to catch up. Keep an eye on Jasper Sapra. He's won a number of races in Como BMW and various other series over the years. I remember seeing him win a night race at Donington a few years back as well. Ah, that's good news. The Nissan is coming back out. It was just a bit of damage to the wheel there. Thankfully, no suspension damage, and David May able to rejoin. He'll be a couple of laps down though. Ah, the 77 Golf is there. Didn't see that on the lineup when they came around for the rolling start. I must have missed that. Unless both of the Golfs started from the pit lane, of course. David May will try and catch up to the back of the Crocodile. Nissan 370Z just testing the steering there, making sure nothing's broken. In the colours of Jam Sport Racing, run by Abbey Motorsport this weekend. Jam Sport's perhaps most famous for Ford Fiesta racing. I believe Ollie Turner, who we saw in Britcar British Endurance last year, he is going back to race with them this year. Quite a cosmopolitan field here today. We've got a Dutchman leading, a couple of Italians in 4th and 6th as well for the Dayton Motorsport team. There's the Clio leaders. There's Callum Noble. He's flying through the order in the Thorny Motorsport BMW run by John Thorne, who briefly appeared in British touring cars a few years ago in the MGTC era. Safety car ready to pull in. Axel van Nederveen is ready to go on the attack, and so is Will Stacey. Look at this, they're not hanging around here. Just over 40 minutes of the race to go, and we're back underway. They can't overtake until the start-finish line. Here comes somebody overtaking. Look at Jasvis Sapra trying to storm up the inside into Coppice in the Battleship Grey BMW. In what order are they going to come out of Coppice up towards Magatin? Van Nederveen still leads from Stacey. Third place is the number 2 Ginetta of Julian Wantling. Celio is 4th. Simon Clark in the Porsche is up into 5th place. So the car that lost out a bit on that restart was the number 4 of Marco Anastasi. He's dropped behind the Porsche, and also through there is Jasvis Sapra. Behind them is Neil Wallace. Then we've got the first of the Clios, and here comes Callum Noble trying to join the lead battle in the BMW. Ginetta sandwiching the Lotus at the front of the field as Axel van Nederveen leads. Down into Stowe Corner, the first lap of the restart. They'll be making sure their tyres are up to temperature here after those couple of laps behind the safety car. Simon Clark going well in the Porsche, new to the Britcar trophy this year. The club complex. There's Noble, the purple BMW in the background. He's got the Clio leaders behind him. Reese Lloyd, Travis Coyne. Behind them it's Andy Tucker. There's David May playing catch-up. Nissan running well. Here are your leaders. Axel van Nederveen from Will Stacey. The Lotus having a look on the inside as they go into Village. He's going through. Takes the lead into the right-hander. Will Stacey for Rob Boston Racing in the Lotus Elise takes it up. Now, are we going to see him run away and hide at the front of the field? He's got a pit stop penalty to serve, of course, that extra 10 seconds. There's confirmation from Britcar. The 2 Golfs did indeed both start from the pit lane. If you like this sort of racing, as back up the inside, Axel van Nederveen will retake the lead into Brooklands. We've got a fight on our hands here, and Julian Wantling wants to get involved as well. Here comes Stacey on the inside. Look at this, they're side by side, almost out of Luffield. This is great stuff. The Lotus to the inside. Van Nederveen uses the grunt of the Ginetta to hold on in the lead. The Lotus will have the lightness and handling advantage, but the Ginettas have got the power in a straight line, and Julian Wantling has a look there down into Copse Corner. Cilio is there in 4th place. This is great stuff. All split apart come the pit stops. Now, if they all stay together, this could play into the hands of the number 2 car, because that hasn't got a pit stop penalty. Behind them, Simon Clark, and then behind them, another car with no pit stop penalty, assuming they get their pit stop right this time, Jazz Sapra and Brian Branson. They're eager to make up for lost time from the first race. 5 minutes of lost time. Behind them is Marco Anastasi. As I was saying, if you like this style of racing, 22nd of July at Donington Park, Britcar has a 6-hour race. The GT4 and lower specification, that's going to be something special indeed. Now towards the left-hander at Club Corner. Axel van Nedderveen still leads. Will Stacey's stay at the front was brief. Simon Clark now closing up. They're starting to stack up behind the leader now, you can see. Neil Wallace closing up as well. That Ginetta could be in with a chance when Ian Astley takes over. He's quick. I believe he used to race in British GT many years ago, back in the 1990s. I think it was a Lotus Esprit he used to handle. This time Stacey's on the outside. Here comes Jasvier Sapper. He's got ahead of the Porsche now. Next target is Maurizio Stilio. Apologies if I do mispronounce that, in the number 47 Dayton Motorsport Ginetta. But he goes a bit wide there, made a bit of a mistake there, Jasvier Sapra. The man from Coventry. Down the Wellington Straights. Equally spaced out there, almost down the Wellington Straight, the leading runners. Into Brooklands. Sapra closing up on Silio. Just over 5 minutes until the pit window opens. So Wantling and Jim Edwards and the grey BMW, they're the cars without the pit penalties in this battle. Simon Clark's got a penalty of winning Class 2 as Sapra pulls out. He's going to go up the inside of Silio. No, you don't, says the Ginetta man. They could be the two to benefit, the blue Ginetta and the grey BMW, when pit stops come around. We'll wait and see. It's only a few seconds extra for the top three in each class in race 1. Van Nedderveen continues to lead by 0.7 of a second ahead of Will Stacey. Julian Wantling runs third. That car will fly when Jim Edwards takes over. I remember Jim racing in the MG Owners Club Championship. We'll see them out at Brands Hatch at Easter for their season opener. Here comes Sapra. This time he's got past Silio into Stowe Corner, up into 4th place. What a rise through the order. Started back on the 11th row of the grid. Van Nedderveen leads, won the first race without even knowing he'd won it. Here's a battle further back. This is one of the Clios, number 22, Chris Bialan. Here's the leading Clios. The two Dragon Sport cars, Reese Lloyd ahead of the 92 of Travis Coyne. They're 10th and 11th overall. Behind them, Andy Tucker. Flying the flag for Team Brit, racing today for High Row Motorsport. They have got behind them the Team Brit BMW, number 17, T. Matherin. With the lead battle. Marco Anastasi's got ahead of Simon Clark in the Porsche. Stunning looking car, there's beautiful livery. Looking for a second class win. There go the leaders, and if anything the Lotus was closer that time through. Now the BMW hunting the leaders out. He's into 3rd place now. He's got ahead of Julian Wantling now, Jasvier Sapra. As Will Stacey has a look coming out of Luffield. Can he get alongside Axel van Nedderveen this time? No, again the Ginetta gets the power down. Just over 3 minutes until the pit window opens. Nedderveen, Stacey, Sapra in 3rd. There's Wantling in 4th, Silio in 5th. If anything, those 5 have broken away from the rest now. They've dropped Marco Anastasi and Simon Clark slightly. And the Lotus still all over the Ginetta for the lead. Look at the way Will Stacey, the young gun, is throwing that Lotus around the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Silio keeping a watch from 5th position. He's got a 5-second penalty to serve at his pit stop. Down towards Stowe Corner. There's Clark under fire in the background from Neil Wallace, who's improving all the time at the wheel of his Ginetta. Here are the Clios. The Team Brit BMW, Team Matherin, is up there now. He's got ahead of the 92 car, that's Travis Coyne, sharing with Jack Hewlett. And there's the Golf up behind them as well. The 77 car has come through the field very nicely. That's Finn Jones, started from the pit lane, and he attacks here into Stowe Corner. The BMW's already gone through. There's the Clio's falling victim to the quicker cars there. The TSR run Golf, looking great in that red and black livery. Stays ahead of the 92. It's Travis Coyne. Team Brit now at the head of this little group. The Clio on the back of them, that's Andy Tucker, I think. Behind Tucker, one of the Honda Civics. That is Arthur McMahon, 45. Now, which white Ginetta is that? Is that Neil Wallace? Yes, it is. He's got ahead of Simon Clark. Clark still leads Class 2. Thought for a moment that was Axel van Nederveen. I thought he was in trouble. There's van Nederveen. He still leads from Will Stacey. Into Luffield. Stacey gets the tighter line. Pit window will be open next time they pass the pits. There's 1 minute left until the window opens. The first race we saw the front runners leave it quite late, in a couple of cases too late. Oh, and big lunge there from Jazz Sapra on Will Stacey. Cilio having a go as well at the number 2. Difficult to know where to look there. Number 2 of Julian Wantling runs wide over the curb. Now, has the BMW got second place from the Lotus? No, it hasn't. Will Stacey keeps up his pursuit of Axel van Nederveen for the lead. Don't forget, van Nederveen has a 15-second success penalty to serve. Will Stacey 10 seconds. Cilio has 5 seconds. Simon Clark has that 15-second penalty in the second, in Class 2, I should say. Neil Wallace has come in, and he's into the pits. That's before the pit window opens, so has that Ginetta got a problem? The pit window opens now. There's the battle between the Clios, and there's been a change for the lead there. Saw Travis Coyne come through, takes Rhys Lloyd. Lloyd's been off. See some mud on the front of his Clio. Here come your leaders up towards Abbey, and Will Stacey's in attacking mode. Wantling under pressure from Cilio now, the battle for 4th place. Oh, the Team Brit BMW is off. Now, where's that? That, I think, is on the Wellington Straight. Stuck in the mud there. And I bet I know what that means. We're going to have a safety car just as the pit window opens. He's stuck in the mud. He can't get it moving there, Team Matherin. Not been a happy day for Team Brit. Wasn't a happy day for them in the British Endurance Championship yesterday. Then McLaren suffering from electrical issues. There's a big slide there from Simon Clark's Porsche. I wonder if it's raining again. That Porsche's all over the place. So whether there's rain coming down again, we'll wait and see. Will Stacey's under fire from the BMW now. But I was saying, Neil Wallace, I think he came in a bit early there. I'll wait and see. We know what the penalty is for missing the pit window. It can be classed as missing the pit window if you come in too early as well. But that car was definitely in pit lane before the notification came through that the window was open. Whether it was a problem for the Ginetta, we don't know. Marco Anastasi is the first of the front runners to come in. He was in 6th position. Anybody else to make a pit call? The number 7 Golf of Jones and Rogers has come in. Anthony Rogers will take over there. Callum Noble's brought the BMW in. That's the Thorny Motorsport car. So here come the leaders, down to Stowe Corner. Leaders swing their way through, the first 3 together now. And we've got the battling pair of Wantling and Cilio behind them. And they're coming up to lap Alex Turnbull's Ginetta G40. And he is second in his class. But he's got 5 seconds less to serve at the pit stop as a change for 4th place there. Bit of a mistake from Julian Wantling. He loses out to Cilio. Leaders up towards Abbey. The Marshals trying to get this BMW, the Team Britcar, out of the mud. They're not having much success. They're trying to avoid any safety cars. It's bogged down, the grass being so wet from this morning's rain. Stacey still on the tail, right on the tail of Axel van Nederveen now. With several more pit callers in the meantime, further down the order. Cleo has come in, Jack Meakin taking over, the McMahon Plant Alfa Romeo has been in. The Cook family, no mistake this time, they've made their stop. Paul Goodlad's VW Scirocco has pitted, William Puttergill, the Clio of Craig Guest, and the safety car is being called. Now, just as the safety car is called, in comes the leader. I think third place has come in there as well. Yep, safety car is out. Will Stacey stayed out, so does Cilio. Now, this is going to really throw things into confusion, I think, now. Who else has been in? Yep, the Wantling Edwards car has come in, Nederveen has come in, Sapra and Bransom have come in, taking advantage of the safety car instantly. Well, we're going to head down to Ian Waterhouse in the pits. I believe he's at the Dragon Sport team, our current Clio leaders.
Right, so safety car coming out. It's getting very busy here in the pit lane, but Reece Lloyd has just come in, and we've got a dragon with us as well. Or is it a platypus? I'm not too sure.
Dragon and platypus.
Of course, Reece, you are Welsh, of course, hence the outfit. I suppose you're not in that now.
Well, it's the wrong colour. I mean, it should be red, surely.
I don't think it meets fire eggs either.
No, it doesn't mean fire. Definitely doesn't mean fire eggs, does it?
Is it just in honour of Reece?
It is, yeah. No, I said I would do it for one race, and yeah. He's going to do well today, so I thought I'd do it today.
Well, I'll tell you what, I might have to make it a permanent fixture. Reece, how was it out there, though?
Proper Clio Cup race that was, yeah, like it should be. It was a bit quiet this morning, the first race. We obviously had good results, but yeah, that was a bit more, defending a lot, and yeah, really proper, good stint, yeah, really good.
Fantastic. Still quite a way to go. What's the expectation? What's the target for this one?
Well, we've got a 15-second penalty from the first race, obviously, because we won the first one, so we've got to make up some time. Podium, maybe a second. If we win it, even better. The Dragons, yes, so surely that's worth 5 seconds, isn't it?
That's, if Clark, of course, is watching, if they could have that penalty reduced just because of this. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys. I'm sure you will. Dave, back to you. Dragon in the pits.
Well, we always say motorsport should be fun. And that's exactly what the Dragon Sport team are doing. They brought their Welsh dragon with them. That's brilliant. Yeah, it should be red, really, if it's a Welsh dragon, shouldn't it? But anyway, everybody in is the thing. There's not many cars out on circuit at the moment. Everyone's in the pit lane with the safety car out. It's easier to tell you who hasn't stopped on that last lap, because there's only 3 cars that haven't. The Clio of Darren Gerhardt's number 41, sharing with Jonathan Christie Rundle, the Spires Motorsport car. That hasn't been in. Will Stacey's Lotus hasn't been in. And Maurizio Cilio's Ginetta. They're the only 3 cars now that have not made their mandatory stop. The Wallace and Astley Ginetta, that's been into the pits twice, so I think they did come in a lap too early the first time and have had to stop again. Whether it was a problem first time, we don't know. Team Matherin in the Team Brit BMW being pulled out of the mud. That's a great shame for Team Brit. The Londoner, second season with Team Brit, suffered serious injuries in 2005 in a motorcycle crash and had to learn to walk again. Joined Team Brit in August 2021, racing a BMW 118 in Britcar with Paul Fullick. They've raced together throughout their careers. Drivers who have gone through more than most in life with the Team Brit. Full credit to the team for giving them the opportunity to race. Paul Fullick, the former army officer, has not only suffered a life-threatening diving accident in his time and losing a leg in a motorcycle crash as well, but they've shown immense courage, the two gents in that BMW, to come back and race, and full credit to Team Brits for their assistance. BMW is going again. I imagine Tyrone Mathurin will bring that straight into the pits. Looks like everybody else has stopped except the 41 Clio now, yet the two leading cars that were behind the safety car have come in. So only the number 41 Clio has not stopped, so technically that is now the race leader. But looking at where everybody else has cycled out on their out laps, it looks as though it is Van Nederveen still in front at the moment, but I think, let's have a look as they cycle through over the line. Yeah, Van Nederveen dropping back, so it is Sapra and Branson. I think they're going to be your race leaders. Brian Branson now in the BMW. Jim Edwards showing as second place. And we'll see how the rest of the order pans out. They've just crossed the line. They're further round. The safety car has not picked up the leading car. There's the Lotus of Will Stacey, taking on a quick bottle of water. It does get very hot in these cars, as we've said yesterday. Well, Boston Racing crew making sure everything's going well. Maurizio Cilio is currently in the pits too. So it looks like it is going to be Brian Branson who will take up the lead. Jim Edwards, the number 2 car, second, and third will be Axel Van Nederveen, but we're going to have to see where these 2 cars slot back in as well. They've got the extra pit penalties to serve, extra few seconds. It doesn't sound much, but even 500ths of a second can be the difference between win and loss in motorsport. Never mind 5, 10 or 15 seconds. Overcast conditions still here at Silverstone, but at the moment, fingers crossed, the track is staying dry. Safety car in this lap, and the pit window will close now. The pit window has just closed. There's one car that hasn't come in. It's the number 41 Clio of Darren Gerhardt and Jonathan Christie Rundle. So it looks like that car unfortunately has missed the pit window. I can hand back down to Ian just before we get this race back underway. He's talking to Rob Boston Racing.
Right, everybody, welcome down to the pit lane. We've just seen Will Stacey go out back on track from his pit stop, but it looked like you might have just missed the safety car period right at the start. That wasn't planned, was it?
No, I think the safety car board came out at Luffield exiting the last corner. We just missed it by seconds. I made the call, and as I'm saying, box, 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 it was just coming round the king. So it was one of those. I think a couple of cars around us, in fact, possibly one of the yellow Ginettas missed it as well, so nobody else got it. So it's one of those. It's just unlucky, but never mind.
Motorsport, huh?
No, it looks like it's going green now as well, so double whammy, but never mind.
Double whammy, you heard it there. Unfortunately, let's see what Will can do from here. Dave, back to you.
Yes, thanks, Ian. The race has got back underway. Now, showing at the top of the timesheets is the number 41 Clio, but that car hasn't pitted, so it will be Brian Branson, the grey BMW, who is leading, but he's got 2 cars right on his tail, which are the number 2 Ginetta, the blue car. There they are in the middle of the pack, and third place is Axel Van Nederveen, and up the inside there's the Ginetta, just nearly tangling with a back marker there. Oh, look at this, a couple of Clios. I thought the BMW was going to be tagged there. Goodness me, they're right in the traffic there. That was very close indeed coming through Beckett's. That's the last place you want to be caught in heavy traffic like that. Brian Branson's got the lead. Jim Edwards gets his foot down behind. Axel Van Nederveen's in there as well in third position. Those are your top 3. fourth place is the BMW of Simon Clark, the Porsche of Simon Clark, I should say, sorry. And then in fifth position, well, it looks like the pit lane start may have worked out with the pit penalties. The Ellick & Jones VW Golf is showing in fifth place. Sixth behind them is Arthur McMahon in the Honda Civic. Then it's the leading Clio, well, the second Clio, but so we've got one Clio that hasn't pitted. So it looks like Darren Gerhardt has missed the pit window, unfortunately, the number 41. But we heard there, Will Stacey and Maurizio Cilio, they pitted one lap too late, weren't able to take full advantage of the safety car period and have lost time making those pit stops. There's Stacey, and a notification, the safety car is coming out again, I think. Or has that just not been taken down off the timing screens there? Still says safety car on the graphics. We'll wait and have a look at the marshal's posts. Looks okay at the moment. Now I can see green flags waving around the circuit, so that's just still up on the timing. Race has got back underway. There is the race leader de facto, Brian Branson. A bit of a twitch there from Jim Edwards in the Ginetta in second place. Axel van Nederveen is in third. Out of Luffield towards Woodcut they come, lapping the 83 of Edward Cook, the Honda Civic there. Well, there is the race leader coming down. There's the Clio in the background, the 41, and it still hasn't come in. They're going to get a big penalty as a result of that. Darren Gerhardt and Jonathan Christie Rundle. No notification of any penalties at the moment. There is Brian Branson. Two Ginettas trying to close him down. They're squabbling with each other as well. We're going to have three cars battling for the lead here. The Porsche is some 20 seconds or so back in fourth place. So it's between these three for the race victory. One of the Clios in the middle there, that's Reece Lloyd and Jack Meakin's car. Looks like it's done a bit of rally crossing. Pembrey, their home circuit, is known as a rally cross venue. And he moves across there. Excuse me, says Jim Edwards. Nearly squeezed by the Clio. That's lost him a bit of time to Brian Branson here. The BMW still leads the way. Down in a club, the blue and white Ginetta of Edwards in second place. Van Nederveen is third. The race between these three now, with 14.5 minutes to go. Well, one car we saw in trouble earlier on after an off was Team Brit, and Ian Waterhouse can give us an update down in the pits.
Yeah, welcome back to the pit lane, everybody. Pop down to the Team Brit garage. I'm here with Team Touring, a very good friend of ours as well. But you did have a bit of a moment out there, though, too.
Yeah, it was a hairy one. I think I was a bit optimistic on the corner.
Part of the learning curve, though.
You know, slightly got the wheels over the apex, and once you touch the grass, you're bogged in. Once you touch the car, that's it, spun it, and you're passing it.
It can be a bit of a steep learning curve at times, can't it, in these cars? But what's it like being part of Team Brit? Because it's such an inclusive team, isn't it?
Yeah, no, massively. You know, what they're doing to help us with disabilities get to racing is massive. And you know, last year, as you know, I was in the 118, so it's a big step up from like 1,000 horsepower to 500, 400 plus. So yeah, it's a learning curve, but you know.
Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the race, won't you? And I'll see you next time over at Brands Hatch. Right, Dave, back to you.
Yeah, thanks very much. As we see the Team Brit BMW still running, a bit of mud falling off the underside of it there after that off for Team Matherin. It's now Paul Fullick who has taken over. These two were indeed, as T said there, in the BMW last season, the BMW 118. This is the car that won the championship in the hands of another crew for Team Brit last year. They won the trophy championship, so defending the title this year for the team. Looks like we've had a change for second place while it was going on. Indeed we have. At the top of your picture there, Axel van Nederveen's got ahead of Jim Edwards. One car that's dropped back, surprisingly, is Callum Noble in the Thorny Motorsport BMW. He was up towards the front early on. He's down to 14th now. Maybe he's had a problem in his pit stop. He's about to be lapped by race leader Brian Branson. Down to club goes the second place battle. Simon Clark is leading Class 2 despite the pit penalty, but he's nearly 28 seconds down on an overall podium. Darren Gerhardt has still yet to come into the pits. That Clio is going to get a big penalty. He's well outside the pit window now. They're still running in 5th overall. But that car has not stopped. The Ellick and Jones Golf is going well, up there in 6th place and 2nd in class. Maurizio Silio is 7th. 8th is Arthur McMahon's Honda Civic, that's running nicely. The Coyne and Hewlett Clio is 9th. And Will Stacey's Lotus, which of course lost time at the pit stop, is down in 10th. There's the number 4 Ginetta of Anastasi. He's running in 13th place, 6th in Class 1. Well, Axel van Nederveen is overcoming that pit stop penalty very nicely indeed, up there in 2nd place. Ransom there was a white Ginetta in front of that BMW. Has van Nederveen taken the lead? No, it was the other white Ginetta, the number 24. It must have been being lapped there. Apologies there. Yes, there it is. There's van Nederveen. Those two cars look identical at a glance, to spot the numbers on them. There is the 24. Ian Astley now on board, but that car had to make a second pit stop. I think they came in too early for the pit window initially. Here comes Brian Branson. Might have a tough time passing Ian Astley here. Ian, a very quick racer. Ransom's got the fastest lap. He's just on a 2:18.011. He leads by just under 5 seconds now from the 2 Ginettas behind him, who continue to scrap it out for 2nd place. Maurizio Silio is in 5th, behind the Porsche of Clark, and the Ellick Jones Golf is 6th. Will Stacey gained 3 places on that last lap. He's only lapping just over a second off the pace of the leader. As we see a battle further back, that's Will Puttergill battling it out with the McMahon and Plant Alfa Romeo. That's for 18th place. The Clio's there, the number 22. It's Chris Bialan and Simon Mason. Simon currently on board. Well, the number 41 Clio has finally stopped. That has missed the pit window by about 10 minutes. So that's going to be a very big penalty indeed. Stop-go penalty for car 47. Oh, that's Maurizio Silio in 5th place. Might be a slightly short pit stop there, because that's a 2-second stop-go penalty. That's a shame. Maurizio Silio, who was in the top 5, is going to have to call back into the pits. So Brian Branson controlling this race. No mistake this time from he and Jasvir Sapra. And they are looking good for their first Britcar Trophy win of the season. Everybody has now made their stops, albeit one car very late. Like the air scoop coming off the roof of that number 14 Clio there of Craig Guest. That's one of the Spires Motorsport cars, and Simon Clark is loving life in that Porsche. He's throwing the car around. In a very good 4th place. It's been a good debut weekend for him. There's the Team Brit BMW battling on. Recovered after its spin. They're running at the tail of the field. Behind the race leader, who still hasn't got past Ian Astley's Ginetta. I wonder if Ian Astley thinks that's a fight for position. Especially with a safety car thrown into the mix, it is hard to know where you are. In the race order, that is. There's the number 92 Renault Clio. That's the leading Clio, with Jake Hewlett on board. He and Travis Coyne. They are running in 9th overall. Will Stacey is absolutely flying in the Lotus. He's up to 4th now. He's gained another 3 places on that last lap, helped by Maurizio Silio calling into the pits to serve a penalty. And that Lotus is not done yet. There he is, in among the back markers. Gets past the Alfa Romeo. Now he's got a pair of Clios ahead of him, hoping they'll see him. Not always very easy for some of the saloon cars to see that Lotus because it's such a low car. He's charging after the top 3. Oh, that's the second place car off. Well, it was in the fight for second. That's Jim Edwards. Exactly the same place as the Team Brit BMW went off. I was just about to say I'd noticed that car had dropped down the order. And there it is, and the marshals have another pushing job to do. Oh, Jim Edwards, stuck in the mud. Is that going to be another safety car with 7 minutes to go? I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Disaster for Jim Edwards. Yep, safety car. Now, this could change things because Branson had got the gap out to over 8.5 seconds over Axel van Nederveen. I was just about to note that Jim Edwards had dropped down the timing screen there when we saw what had happened to him. Is that going to be the Ginetta out of the race? This is all going to play into the hands of none other than Will Stacey in that Lotus. See how far behind he is when everybody has closed up, how many back markers are in the way, and whether he can go after the BMW and the Ginetta at the front of the field. Safety car trying to pick up the race leader there. The Ginetta wheel spinning over the grass, showering the marshals in mud. Look at the state of that. Well done, marshals. Come on, Jim, I know it's annoying, but you don't need to wheel spin all the way over the grass. Just take it slowly. Never mind the marshals, look at the state of that car. That's going to need a power wash. There's mud all over the circuit. Oh dear. That's the second time that car's been through the mud. On the opening lap of race 1, it ploughed across the grass at Beckett's. Look at the mud it's leaving behind. Looks like it's been rallying. Jim Edwards to be charged for the hire of a road sweeper, I think, to clear the circuit up. Okay, safety car is out again. Still throwing mud everywhere. Oh dear, oh dear. Jim Edwards is clearly an angry man. He's thrown away a potential podium place there. Just shows how wet the grass is after the earlier rain. Let's hope nobody slips on any of that mud and goes off again. So Brian Branson with the lead. There's the 41 Clio. We haven't had any notification of a penalty for it yet, but it will be a very big penalty if they get one for missing the pit window. Well, there's only 4 minutes of the race to go now, so in lieu of a stop-go, they'll probably have time added on to their race time. Right, safety car has picked up the 24 car. The leader is behind it. Axel van Nederveen second. It's Simon Clark's Porsche third. That's quite a way back in the order. In the order of cars around the circuit, that is. Now, are we going to see the safety car come in this time? We might need an extra lap to sweep all the mud up. If we get another lap behind the safety car, I think we will finish under safety car conditions. I say that the light goes out. So we are going to get a sprint finish here at Silverstone. I think we'll get 2 more laps out of this for Brian Branson to hang on. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for the likes of Simon Clark and Will Stacey to catch up. Another 50-minute race to go after this for the Prototype Cup. Safety car about to unleash the pack. It pulls into the pit lane. Mind the mud. And away they go. It's Ian Astley at the front, but he's a lap down, so once they get to the start-finish line, Brian Branson will go through. You can't pass until you're over the timing line. Now Branson will go through on the inside. He's got a clear track in front of him to try and pull away from Axel van Nederveen in the other white Ginetta in second place. Now, where is Clark in the Porsche? Has he been able to close up? Just take a look a little further back in the line. There's the Porsche. Now where is Will Stacey? That's the question. The Lotus is the other car that can catch up. We'll take a look back down the line. It's Callum Noble's BMW. There's the Porsche of Simon Clark. There's the Lotus. So he's not all that far behind. Let's see what Will Stacey can do then. That has closed things up very nicely indeed. And we could be in for a grandstand finish here. Branson leads it. Then we've got the two back-marking Ginettas of Astley and Anastasi. They're in 11th and 12th place. Bit of smoke there from, I think that's one of the Clios. Excuse me, says Will Stacey. He's determined. Look at this. He's got Simon Clark ahead of them, currently third overall with the demise of Jim Edwards and Julian Wantling's Ginetta. But Will Stacey is going to go hell for leather around these last couple of laps to try and catch up to the top two. He's got to deal with the Class 2 leading Porsche first. He goes to the inside coming through Club. He's surely going to go through on the run, the Hamilton straight. Yep, there he goes. Along the straight then, he can see the leaders ahead of him. Will Stacey is on a cavalry charge. Can he catch them? Can he make up for that pitting a lap too late to take advantage of the safety car? This is fantastic from Will Stacey. This time using the safety car to his advantage. Shows what a lottery GT racing can be here in the Britcar Trophy. Brian Branson still leads from Axel van Nederveen. There's the BMW. Ginetta a little bit further back. There's the Ginetta, the second of the white Ginettas. And he's struggling to deal with back markers here, Axel van Nederveen. He hasn't got past Marco Anastasi. He doesn't seem to be attacking here. They are teammates, those two. This is allowing Brian Branson to get away, starting his final lap this time. That's Ian Astley. He's a lap down, the 24 car. The gap has increased to 3.7 seconds now. Branson pulling away, but the danger man is that blue Lotus. Let's see what his lap time is this time through. 2:19.7. Yeah, exactly the same as the race leader. So I don't think Will Stacey is going to catch Brian Branson here. Nederveen, if anything, was a little bit quicker on that last lap, but he's not getting past the number 4 car. He needs to get past his teammate if he's going to attack for a double here. There's Stacey in third place, and I think he's going to run out of time. Throws the Lotus through Beckett's. Well, Van Nederveen, if he's not careful, is going to lose second place here because he's just sat behind his teammate's car then. Does he think they're on the same lap? Because Anastasi's a lap down. Ian Astley up ahead of them, he's a lap down as well. They're 11th and 12th. So Van Nederveen is not attacking here as he settled for second place. There's Will Stacey third. Simon Clark going great guns in the Porsche. He's been one of the stars of the weekend for me. He's going to take a double class win despite the pit stop penalty. Clock has counted down to 0, so it's going to be checkered flag this time in Britcar Trophy Race 2. Well, after the problems earlier on when Brian Branson missed the pit window and the team ended up being penalised down to 22nd place, that's where they had to start from for Race 2. But they raced their way through. They gained some 15 places on the first lap alone in the hands of Jasvir Sapra. Sapra pitted at exactly the right time under the safety car to hand over to Brian Branson, and this time he has made no mistake at the wheel of the BMW E46 M3 run by Intersport Racing. Started by Jasvir Sapra and driven to victory by Sapra and Brian Branson. Here he comes around the final corner. No mistake at all this time. The celebrations can start for the Intersport Racing crew as Brian Branson comes in to take the checkered flag, wins Britcar Trophy Race 2 here at Silverstone. Second place will go to Axel van Nederveen. Will Stacey chased hard in the closing stages. Personal best lap on the final lap, but he has to settle for third. Simon Clark, a brilliant fourth in the Porsche. He wins Class 2. The Clio class is going to be won by Coyne and Hewlett, three-wheeling the Clio home. That's Jack Hewlett. He's going to come in an excellent 7th overall. A brilliant 5th overall for Ellick and Jones in the Golf for the TSR team. That's a superb result. And 6th place, well done, Arthur McMahon in the Honda Civic. 8th place goes to Maurizio Cilio. He got a late stop-go penalty. The Tucker and Meadows Clio was 9th. And in 10th place, completing the top 10, will be Harrison and Jenkins. James Harrison and Ben Jenkins in their Clio. The G40 Cup class will be won by Brendan Hafner for the second time today. Just waiting for the last few cars to come in. Only a couple of retirements in that one. We lost, of course, the number 42 car of Mike West and Jade Edwards. Sadly, contact on the first lap, a broken wheel putting that car out of the race. And sadly, David May and Mark Skeets pulled back into the pits for a second time. There was damage to the Nissan and they dropped out. But 27 cars make it home. That is brilliant. A brilliant race to round off Britcar's opening weekend of the season in the trophy category. One race to go. We've got the Prototype Cup still to come. And congratulations, Jasper Sapra and Brian Branson. The BMW pairing got it right this time. 19 laps completed. They finished just under 6 seconds clear of Axel van der Veen. Great charge by Will Stacey once again to take third. Simon Clark takes the Class 2 win in fourth. Great results for Ellick and Jones and also for Arthur McMahon in the Golf and the Civic. 5th and 6th overall after some of the Ginettas hit trouble. 7th place for the Clio winner, Travis Coyne and Jack Hewlett. 8th place Maurizio Cilio, then Tucker and Meadows and Harrison and Jenkins round out the top 10. 2 pit visits knocked back Neil Wallace and Ian Astley. They had to be content with 11th. 12th for Marco Anastasi. Callum Noble 13th in his BMW. The second Golf after a pit lane start. Jones and Rogers 14th, and it was Reece Lloyd and Jack Meakin, cheered on by their Welsh Dragon, completing the top 15. And yes, the lucky mascot certainly worked, didn't it? It's because their other car won the class. Let's hand down to Ian Waterhouse in the pits then, in Parc Fermé, to celebrate with the drivers.
Well, everybody, welcome down to Parc Fermé, and what an eventful day it has been for these two gentlemen, Jas Sapra, Brian Branson. Of course, you may remember in race 1 they were heading towards victory, but actually pitted outside the pit window, so had a 3-second penalty. These guys right here, let me grab them both. Jas, Brian, come over here. Jas, we were just chatting. You guys were angry. You wanted this win, didn't you?
Yeah, sort of, yeah. Yeah, we did want it, yeah.
Let's get Brian in as well, because I do feel like we've given him an awful lot of airtime over this weekend. A couple of second places, of course, with the Classic Tour guys, but now he's managed to get that winner's trophy. Brian, over you come. Congratulations. You guys have worked hard for this, haven't you?
Thank you.
You worked hard for it, haven't you?
Yeah, we have, yeah. Yeah, through close battles and what have you, but yeah, it's good.
A couple of second places, of course, through the Classic Touring cars, and now you've got the job done. You're only as good as your last race, right? And last race, you guys are champions.
Yeah, we are the champions now, hopefully.
Go enjoy it. Go on. Fantastic stuff. Axel and Edavine over here. Let's have a quick chat with him as well. You know you finished second now, of course, a winner in race 1, second place, and this has been a pretty impressive weekend.
Yeah, this was better. It felt better.
Better conditions as well. They were a bit tasty. And did you know where you were this time in the race?
This time, no, and also let's say the racing was some good racing in the beginning with Will.
Yeah.
And then he made the mistake of not coming in with the safety car.
Yeah. One of those things, isn't it, Axel? It's motorsport. It's why we love it, isn't it? So let's keep going as well. Let's have a chat with Will. When we spoke to him earlier, actually, Axel looked very surprised. He didn't realise he'd won. Will was very surprised as well, but let's just quickly go. Well, congratulations. We know about maybe perhaps not quite getting in into the pits as quick as you'd like, but that's motorsport. It happens, doesn't it? And you still managed to finish on the podium.
Yeah, I think we had some good pace, especially at the end. But yeah, I think we lost communication on the radio was playing up, so I didn't really know if it was pit window yet, so I couldn't work out should I pit, should I not, and then Axel pitted. But I don't know, I just thought I didn't want to risk it and have to go and do a drive or anything, so I just went around another lap.
Yeah.
And we got back out, and the safety car was still out when I first went out, but I think we probably lost half a lap or so once the flag went green.
Yeah, it went green quite quick, didn't it, as soon as you got back out. It's one of those things, it's not been a bad weekend though, has it?
No, not at all. happy with that overall.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Congratulations. There we go. Will always looks so stunned, doesn't he? But it's nice to see you back on the podium for the second time today. We still have one more race to bring you. That is going to be the Britcar Prototype Cup. So I'm going to hand you back to Dave.